I do think that is a song I will never listen to again. I could cry about how much I love this song. Some Taylor Swift songs should stay in the vault, and I don't think I enjoyed that very much. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Ali, and today we are finally ranking The Tortured Poets Department by Taylor Swift. If you guys have been here a while, you know that I love to rank things. If you don't, hi, welcome. It is so nice to have you here. Recently, we have done characters from Pretty Little Liars, eras to our outfits, Christmas movies, all of my fictional crushes, you know, very important, serious work. But we actually have not done an album ranking in a very long time. I don't think I've even ranked music since all of Miley's discography, and for a Taylor album, it's been a minute, so I am very, very excited. Also a little bit nervous because from what I've seen of other people's rankings online, I have very different opinions.
It's gonna be so bad.
So right when the Tortured Poets Department album came out, I made a Spotify playlist of just my favorite songs. So I'm very curious to see at the end of this, once I've ranked all the songs, I'm gonna pull up that playlist and we can see how much my favorites have changed since then. And I also thought, in honor of my ranking every Taylor Swift song video hitting 1 million views, which is insane, thank you so much, I would reveal like the main changes that I would make since then. Because some of the things I said were just like straight up lies. I'll be very honest with you today.
Then yes, there will be some casualties. Yes, there will.
All right, well, let's get into my tiers. At the top, we have God tier. Of course, you guys know this one. These songs are the best thing that's ever been mine. This is just the best of the best. I don't even know if we had a song from every album in this tier. This is essentially your top 30 Taylor Swift songs. Just below that is Twilight Baseball Scene, which is basically, people may not know this, but Twilight Baseball Scene is just a synonym for iconic. If you look up iconic in the dictionary, this is what you see. Then we have Marvelous Tune. It's a song I can appreciate, I enjoy it, it's just not quite up in my faves. This is me crying for the songs that like I physically cannot listen to or I will throw up. Again, if you've seen my full ranking, you understand this tier. Some songs are just too much. Then we have I Forgot That You Existed. These are for the songs that I just don't reach for and maybe even forgot about, you know? It isn't love, it isn't hate, it's just indifference.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
And finally, we have Emily in Paris.
Emily?
Which is just such a sign of the times when these tiers were made. What would I have called Emily in Paris if I were making these tiers from scratch today? Drop your best suggestion in the comments. In case you are new here, I kind of need to explain the rules around this, so I'm not simply just ranking the album within itself, but rather ranking these songs as how they exist amongst Taylor's entire discography. So if you haven't seen my video ranking every single Taylor Swift song, that shows you, you know, the caliber of these tiers. Because a song might be God tier on an album to you, but is it God tier amongst her Dear Johns, her All Too Wells, and her Would've, Could've, Should've? So if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend watching it first for context. Otherwise, have fun. Now, a friendly reminder, since we have exactly 31 songs on the Anthology, everybody has a song that represents their birthday, which I just think is so great, especially because mine is a God tier song. That said, I am kind of curious to hear from you guys whether you listen more to like the front half or the back half of the album, or whether you call it one or two different albums. I personally see it as one collective anthology, but let me know. To me, this is really a quintessential Taylor Swift album. By that I mean, it may not be the most beginner-friendly Taylor album, like it's not an entry-level Taylor album, but for fans that have been there, you know, kind of along a lot of this journey, there are just so many little sprinklings and Easter eggs of old Taylor woven throughout it for us to enjoy. I have to go back at some point and watch my predictions video to see if I was even close with anything, but I think the thing I love most about this album is just the range. We go from songs like But Daddy I Love Him or I Can Fix Him No Really I Can, which are such universal experiences in the same way that like Love Story or 15 were. Those songs you would hear and be like, she read my diary. But then on the same album, we have songs like I Can Do It With a Broken Heart and Clara Bow, songs that are so capital T, capital S, Taylor Swift, giving us insight into this experience that we simply cannot relate to. Oh my God, even The Black Dog, like sharing your location with someone, that is so deeply relatable, that kind of trust and intimacy and privacy you have with someone when your lives are so intertwined. Forgetting to turn it off, not only is that so incredibly heartbreaking, it is also kind of dangerous, and I think Taylor should be using Surfshark VPN, today's video sponsor. Surfshark is a virtual private network which helps protect your identity and privacy by giving you a sneaky new IP address. In other words, it's just keeping your digital self safe. I was looking through Surfshark's website and they even have a blog post about how to send an anonymous email. So if the smallest man who ever lived, Ezra Fitz is watching this video, you're welcome. In 2024, it has never been easier or more important to protect yourself online. We spend so much time on our phones, laptops, mini screen, middle screen, and big screen. We've got to keep that stuff safe in the same way that we do our physical self. And thankfully, one Surfshark account protects unlimited devices, so they got you covered. One great pro about living in Australia is that because we are technically, you know, in the future, we get access to music first. But the con is we have such limited access to pretty much everything else. So many movies, TV shows, even YouTube videos are just blocked here, or our Netflix just doesn't own the rights. So thankfully, Surfshark opens up this entire world of possibilities and unlocks all of these for me. If you've been wanting to try out a VPN for a while, now is the perfect time to do it. You can use my code Sheehan for an extra 4 months free at surfshark.deals/Sheehan, or simply scan this code. Thank you again, Surfshark, for sponsoring this video. I love you guys. Now let's get into the ranking. Okay, first up we have Fortnight featuring Post Malone. I'll be honest, I hadn't heard that much outside of kind of like his big hits and some of the songs that I would play at my summer camp. I was so blown away by how beautifully his and Taylor's voices like melded together. Oh my goodness. I also really do think this man was just born for country. He's like a male Sophia Bush with that like raspy, incredible tone of voice. You guys saw this in my reaction, but I just love how much Taylor picked this album up right where we left off with Midnights. You know, in Hits Different, Have They Come to Take Me Away? And track 1 here we have I Was Supposed to Be Sent Away, but They Forgot to Come and Get Me. The continuation of that story, I think, is a bit of a clue or exemplifies just how closely Midnights and the Tortured Poets department are really linked together. So because of that, I think it is a perfect track 1. Would I have made it the lead single? No. I'll reveal my choice when we get to it, but feel free to let me know in the comments what you would have picked. One thing I will say about Fortnight, the outro on this, for me, joins the ranks of songs like The Other Side of the Door and Red, that just, the outro, like the song itself, it's good, it's great, but that outro sends me to a different plane of existence. The Fortnight outro would almost be God tier to me, but it's just the outro, not the entire song. So I'm gonna put it in Twilight Baseball Scene. Next we have the titular song, The Tortured Poets Department. And you're not Dylan Thomas, I'm not Patti Smith. I will never forget reaching this part of the album, reacting with you guys, hearing these lyrics and being like, hang on, this is not going in the direction we thought it was. So in my deep dive of this song, I talked about the meaning of this being a tattooed retriever, the meaning of the song Chocolate by the 1975, but one of you pointed out in the comment the tie-in with You're in Self-Sabotage Mode, because it's like, she said he's a dog, yet he's eating bars of chocolate. Dogs can't do that. That was just such a great extra play on words that I totally missed, so thank you to whoever said that. I think I'm gonna put the Tortured Poets department in Marvelous Tune. Oh, this is gonna happen a lot. I think she's going in Marvelous Tune. Now, my boy only breaks his favorite toys. This is where we start seeing where my opinion differs, because I've seen a lot of people love this song and a lot of people guess that it was my favorite song, and there is just something about it that rubs me the wrong way. I think it might be kind of the stop-start of the song, like it's kind of broken up. It makes me feel uneasy, and I wonder if that's because we have like an expectation of how songs should flow and this is like diverging from that. I don't know. Something about that, I don't know what it is, just makes me feel like sad. I will say, I love the bridge. I really do love a bridge slash outro. I also think, sadly, I can't hear this song without picturing this. I genuinely see that every time I hear this song, and that's what makes me feel a bit uneasy. By the way, in case you missed it, I've done full deep dives into like what all of these songs mean. So today I'm really just spilling my guts on like how I personally feel about these songs, whether I love them or hate them. I'm not being too analytical. My boy is going in I Forgot That You Existed. Oh, we're off to a good start. Down Bad. Now I'm down bad, crying at the gym. When we listened to the album for the first time, this was a real turning point for me. I think like hearing those first few songs, I was like, okay, I'm understanding it. I get what we're doing here. Down Bad was such a 180, like such a different sound. It just hits different. Again, that relatability, who hasn't been down bad crying at the gym? And that's not even so much just about the song itself, but like the experience of listening to that song, it's just so good. Like this is different to anything Taylor has ever done before, and I'm obsessed. Did you really Oh, all the galactical references. We love it. She's going in Twilight baseball scene. Then we have a little song called So Long London. Now, if you guys have seen my big jumbo Taylor Swift ranking video, you know there are songs like Soon You'll Get Better, for example, that I simply do not listen to, don't even really know the words to. And I fear So Long London kind of sits in that category for me. It is just a little bit too personal, you know? I feel like there are two kinds of people. When you're sad, you enjoy listening to sad songs that are about like the situation you're in. I'm whatever the opposite of that is. If I'm going through something devastating and earth-shattering, I can only listen to like One Direction and Hannah Montana, you know? So for right now, So Long London is going in. This is me crying. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that we've waited quite a few months to see like a good representation of where these all fall, because again, like I said earlier, at the beginning, I had such different opinions for all of these songs. Now these are really like lived in, you know, the dust has settled a bit more. Next is a little known song called But Daddy I Love Him. When we say girlhood is a spectrum, that is talking about the journey from a Taylor Swift track 5 that leaves you screaming, crying, throwing up, to the absolute pop perfection of a track 6. In this case, kind of pop country perfection, which for me is kind of as good as it gets. The fact that this was not only a pop banger, but also like a yeehaw jam, I truly don't know if I deserve to be this blessed. Everyone say thank you Love Story and thank you Ours, because they ran so that But Daddy I Love Him could dance with her dress in the sun. And she is dancing all the way up to God Tier Baby. I love this song so much. I haven't seen anyone talk about this, so maybe I'm wrong, but there is a banjo on this song in 2024. Do you guys know what that means? I used to pray for days like this. We came back when the heat died down. One thing I will say, Taylor Swift has the ability to take a great song, a perfect song even, and amplify it even higher on the like live stadium version. You guys know I've talked so much about, I think it's You Belong With Me and Style in particular, the electric guitars usually. The drums that she added on the live version of this. We came back when the heat died down. To my parents and they came around. All the wine moms are still holding out. It's over. And I, in my dress in the sun. Even my daddy just done. Unfortunately, I do need them to be added back into the studio version because it just transforms the song so beautifully. I don't know if you were all paying enough attention. Can we please hear that banjo again? Lovers, closer. We came back when the heat died down. Honestly, the sleeves keep falling down on this top. I don't know if you can tell this is a corset, but this is kind of giving But Daddy I Love Him. The fact that Taylor Swift wrote this song, put it on this album, put it on the Eras Tour set, I feel like that was for me. So thank you, Taylor. She is a longtime fan of this show. Do we care if my top stays down? There are weirdos on YouTube, unfortunately. As cute as that looks. Fresh Out the Slammer. Now, oh my God, if this song has not hit for you yet, don't you worry, it will, because what a bop, especially this part. Fresh out the slammer, another summer, taking cover, he don't understand. Never lose my baby again. Oh my God, this song, some of the best instrumentation. Is that even a word? I don't know. The most beautiful instruments and production I've ever heard. Whatever the term for music is, I love it. Sorry, the live version of this. Fresh out the slammer, I know who my first call will be too. Fresh out the slammer. This is a song that when it ends, I immediately want to hear it again. It is just the best vibe. And some of you aren't going to agree with this. I know that, but I'm a brave woman and I'm here to tell you, it's a God tier song. If you don't get that yet, it's okay. I promise one day you'll hear it.
You're not gonna get the song the first time you hear it. After the second and third time, you're gonna be like, whoa, what is this? It sounds nothing like anything that's out right now.
I talk a lot about hearing songs for the first time. This can happen to anyone at any time with any song. You will just hear a song in a completely new way. It will just hit you. And I can't wait for you guys to have that with Fresh Out the Slammer. I love it so much. Then we have Florida. Interestingly, this was like top 3 for me on release day. Love the vibe, love the Florence of it all. Kind of also just really love Florida as a place. Like, I know it kind of has its problems, but I have a lot of loved ones that live there and a lot of fond memories. So hearing that kind of depicted in a song Very cool. I think just all of the kind of Stepford wife visuals. Taylor just paints such a great visual image in this song. And it even ties into other songs. You know, think back to Fortnight. She sings, "My husband is cheating, I want to kill him." Now in Florida, and your cheating husband disappeared, well, no one asked any questions here. She killed her husband. And good for her.
Good for her.
Florida, I'm gonna put in marvelous tune. I still enjoy it, but I'm just not reaching for it as much as the rest. Speaking of songs that I reach for, up next we have Guilty as Sin.
I love this man, and I have to have him.
Taylor said in her poem that it's the worst men she writes the best, and Exhibit A. I give you this song. Let me go on record and say this is one of, if not the best. Let me asterisk this. For the time being, this is the best key change in Taylor Swift's discography, right here.
What if he's written
And that will only be changed when we get Taylor Swift Taylor's version featuring You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home from the Vault. That last chorus key change that goes up, obsessed. I just can't wait to hear that. And there's not even doubt in my mind anymore. I'm just purely manifesting. So if I had my way, this would in fact, I think, have been the lead single. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. I just can't think of a better song. Like, Guilty as Sin is kind of like if we put all of the songs on a map, if we circle them on a map, you know, with all the different themes in the corner, I think Guilty as Sin is at, I want to say apex, but I don't know if that's the right word. Guilty as Sin is in the middle, in the sense that it just represents this album so perfectly to me. It ties in with so many other songs. Fresh Out the Slammer, I Can Fix Him, all of the different religious elements and like references here on the album. I don't know why I'm trying to sell you on this song as if you don't already know. It's the best thing that we have. It is just so good. Get on up there to God tier.
Get up here! Look.
When Taylor Swift said, maybe this thing is a masterpiece, she was talking about this song. Does anyone else listen to this song and hear Perfect by One Direction? I don't think I said it in my first reaction, but I was definitely thinking it, and every time I hear that beat, I just hear Harry coming in. A lot of you will know this, but being a track 9, what a privilege, what an honor to be a track 9, because it is just like an elite tier. Some people love track 2s, some people obviously love their track 5s. For me, track 9, oh, I do love a track 3 also, but track 9 supremacy. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me?
I'm fearsome, and I'm wretched, and I'm wrong.
Now, this is a song that really builds.
Song really builds.
I think this is a song where hearing it, you can't not picture the Eras Tour performance. Don't you just hear this and picture her swinging herself around on that stage?
So I leap from the gallows and I levitate down your street.
The fact that I hear this song and instantly visualize the Eras Tour performance, I think just speaks volumes to how iconic the choreography and performance of it is. You know, which we can't say about every song. I don't think I necessarily hear Fortnight and picture the Fortnight performance. Snaps for Mandy Moore for this one. She nailed it. And I think the drums at the end of this song rival my love for the drums in the Wildest Dreams music video. I just love a good drum. So that said, Who's Afraid is not a song I can listen to all the time, but I just love it. I love any of Taylor's reflections on fame. I think she's going in Twilight baseball scene. She's iconic. Then we have I Can Fix Him. No, really, I can. One of the discussions that we had in the breakdown of this song was I was saying, like But Daddy I Love Him and Guilty as Sin, this song contains a lot of religious and Christian imagery. And I asked, like, do you think when she says, your good Lord doesn't need to lift a finger, is she saying, I no longer identify with that faith? Your good Lord is a way of like othering herself from that religion. That was kind of how I interpreted it. And a lot of you guys said, which makes me think maybe those of you that commented this share that faith, because of course you would have that great insight that I'm lacking, that her saying your good Lord is actually a way of saying, well, my God doesn't judge like that. My God loves, accepts, you know, isn't this hateful thing that maybe the Sarahs and Hannahs are depicting him to be, which is just a take that I really thought was insightful. So thank you to all of you that shared that with me. Now, again, one of the best bridges on this album.
Good boy, that's right. Come close.
Whoa, that was hot.
All night.
Oh my God.
I can handle me a dangerous man.
The guitar.
No, really, I can't.
Obsessed. I think for me, I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can is Twilight Baseball Scene. When Taylor says he just hasn't met me yet, does anyone else think of that Michael Bublé song?
I just haven't met you yet.
Okay, Loml, Loss of My Life, straight to the chokey, aka this is me crying. Personally, Punch Me in the Face would hurt less.
I am done with Taylor Swift. Yup. I was a Swiftie.
I do think that is a song I will never listen to again. And I had to force myself to listen to it over and over again, making notes for my deep dive. And I don't think I enjoyed that very much. Some Taylor Swift songs should stay in the vault. She should have let it stay buried, okay? Like, who gave her the right, honestly? And that is all I'll say on that. Is it a beautiful song? Maybe.
Maybe.
Couldn't tell ya. I don't listen to it. Okay, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Thank God she follows up that song with one like this to be like, yeah, that's how I feel, but I can keep going. And so can you. And I don't think I'd noticed before, but that this is track 13, which just feels like really nice. That makes me really happy. This is a very Taylor Swift song. And if this weren't track 13, I think I would want it to be Clara Bow. This song to me is just genius in its production, like the backstage noises, the countdown cues, the hyperventilation built into like the way that she's singing. If you guys didn't see that pretty viral TikTok, the way that she sings in this chorus sounds like when you are crying and trying to get out how you feel, but it's just so hard to breathe. You're like hyperventilating and trying to express what's going on.
He said he loved me all his life. I hit the floor.
I can't. You see what I mean? Genius. Now, is this a song that I play all the time? No. But when it comes on at the Taylor Swift club night, it is very fun. Man, I don't know. Look, I think it's Twilight Baseball Scene. Things are getting crowded up the top. I can't help it, it's a great album. Okay, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. The bridge in this song, I feel like it is when you reach the climax of Defying Gravity. Like, that is how grand this feels. You know, it's like, that's what we're all here for at the end of the day. It's to hear Alphaba sing that riff, and it's to hear Taylor Swift just absolutely decimate this man. Unfortunately, I'm not just looking at this song, you know, I'm not just looking at the bridge of this song, I have to consider the entire song. And sometimes I will admit this song will start playing and I'm like, what is that? Because I don't associate how this song sounds at the beginning with that explosive, iconic bridge. The sigh is iconic, but then
Of it true, gazing at me starry-eyed.
it's a great song. I just wish I felt the whole way throughout it like I do on the bridge. Kind of reminds me of Love Bug by the Jonas Brothers, honestly, when that finally explodes towards the end of the song. Incredible. But the whole time I'm kind of just waiting for that, and that's how this song makes me feel. I'm just sitting around waiting to get to the good part. So if I was ranking the bridge alone, God tier. Instantly, obviously. However, the rest of the song, marvelous tune. I'm so sorry. And I'm sorry to my friend Brooke, who is the #1 smallest man who ever lived bridge stan. I know you'll text me about it when you see this, so it's fine. I just want more bridge. Honestly, if you take away anything from my channel or meeting me, knowing me, it's that bridge is life.
Football is life.
And I just want more things to be like the bridge of a song. Okay, next we have The Alchemy. Now, one of my favorite comments on our deep dive of The Alchemy and of this album was when you guys would say that I helped you appreciate a song more, or like you didn't like it and now you do. That is such a compliment to me. I love to think I also have the power to make you hate a song, but I don't think I do. Those of you that were, you know, leaving hateful comments on my Taylor Swift song ranking video because of the things I put in the bottom tier, there's no need, because I can't make you hate a song. You know, if I hate it, that just means there's more room for you to be like the #1 fan of that song. I just want you guys in particular to appreciate this part of the song. It's the definition of that move. And also someone in the comments of my deep dive pointed out that, you know, I said this is track 15 because 8 + 7 = 15. Obviously, jersey number, we get it. But also, it's track 15 because in your life, you'll do things greater than dating the boy on the football team. Didn't know it at 15. Her mind. And also your mind. Whoever pointed that out, thank you. Went way over my head. The Alchemy, marvelous tune. She's a great time. I really enjoy it. There could be a time when that could sneak up into Twilight Baseball Scene. It's just not iconic enough, you know? But she's good. She's really good.
She's really good.
Next we have Miss Clara Bow. I don't know how to explain this, but I have known this song my whole life. Like, this song has always existed and I've always known it. It's always been a part of my journey, my experience, my universe. Like, hearing this song for the first time felt like revisiting an old memory. You know, like, does that make any sense? It felt like reuniting with an old friend. And mostly the music. All of the lyrics were brand new for me to take in, but the music, I was like, yes, I feel this, I know this. Oh my God, it makes me want to cry. I could cry hearing that, honestly. What's that? You guys want to hear my favorite part of the song? Sure, no worries, I'll show you. This instrumentation here. I think they're violins. My ear is not that trained, you know? I went to Grace Sloan Memorial Hospital, not Harvard. If that is in fact violins, it is joining my other favorite violin moment from the Hannah Montana movie.
I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle.
This song is just like movie magic to me. Oh my gosh, I have chills. It is maybe because it's freezing, but this song, Clara, absolutely god tier song. And I don't think I've seen many others feel that way about this song. You saw my reaction to it, you saw my deep dive about it. You know why I feel this way. This is like in the Taylor Swift canon, certified, solidified. It just makes sense. I know I'm not making sense talking about this song, but I just love her. Now we are up to the anthology.
I'm big with teens, girls, lesbians, the mentally ill, the very sad.
I've seen a lot of people say that this album or this double album was just too many songs. Like, I get it. I respect it. Especially on release night, I was definitely overwhelmed. My brain is not okay. I can't say anything without hearing a movie reference. Then I wanted to say, I know you can be overwhelmed and you can be underwhelmed. Can you ever just be whelmed? But my point is, I will always take more songs rather than less. Someone else could say, well, these 5 songs are skips, like get rid of them. But what if like 3 of those are my absolute favorite, you know? So I would rather just have the choice. Does that make sense? I am pro-choice in every meaning of the word, and that includes music here. Give me all of the options and then I can make my own informed decision, you know? And that's something important to remember as we're voting this year. Just putting it out there. So first up on the anthology, we have The Black Dog.
It's the grip. And I hope it's shady in the black dog. Tail between your legs.
I feel like the main feeling I get from this song is catharsis. It is just such a release of emotion in the best way. My friend Nina said in her ranking video, I think, that she finds the pose of the anthology like kind of awkward, like doesn't really get it. So Nina, the lyrics just don't understand how you don't miss me in the shower. This to me, what's she doing? This is really hard to recreate. That's why I did the other cover. This is Taylor in the shower washing her hair. 6 months of breathing clean air. I still miss the smoke. The tie-in to clean, but also the fact that like London is known as the smoke. Can we talk about how much I love when Taylor Swift name drops a place? You know, obviously we have the Black Dog, but we also have Coney Island, the High Line, Centennial Park, the Bus Stop Cafe. Here's a question. How many Taylor Swift locations mentioned in songs have you been to? I feel like Londoners really have an advantage here. London Boy doesn't count. The Black Dog for me, Twilight baseball scene. It's still not one that I actually reach for to play. I wonder how much the Black Dog's business has benefited from this song. Like what Harry did for the Beechwood Cafe, I wonder if Swifties are now flocking to the Black Dog. I wouldn't blame them. I kind of want to go myself. Okay, next we have a little song called I'm Gonna Get You Back.
Bygones will be bygone, eras fading into vain. I wanna play the game.
It's so hard right now to not share like all of the connections and things in these songs, but I just have to save that for a deep dive. Obviously I will do one. I literally went out and bought black clothes to be able to do so, but I'm just gonna say my feelings about these songs. So when I first heard I'm Gonna Get You Back, I almost called my psychologist, canceled all of my sessions, because this song is therapy. It just makes me feel so good. Get me off the books. I don't need it. This song cured me. Nothing makes me dance harder in the shower than this. Do you see how my clothes are wanting to take themselves off hearing this song? I get it. It's a sexy song.
Gonna smash up your bike, I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna get you back.
It's so amazing, and I would play it again and again and again and again.
If it weren't obvious, this is a god tier song. I love her so much. Free therapy. I just wish this were on the set list. I fear it might be too sexy. It's too good. If you guys could add any song from the entire anthology, all 31 songs, to the ears to a set list, which song would it be? And which one would you take off? Then we have the Albatross. I think my prediction for this was like incredibly off. I'm gonna have to revisit that. There is something about the fact that I don't even want to play this song right now. It kind of tells you everything about my ranking. It's just something about the melody that I don't like.
Wise men once said, wild winds are death to the candle.
I don't know what it is. That just rubs me the wrong way. I'm sorry.
Cross your thoughtless heart, only liquor anoints you.
I'm sorry, it's just not my vibe. I might actually put the Albatross in Emily in Paris. Yeah, I would be fine never hearing that song again. Okay, like if I'm really forcing myself to put one song on this anthology as a skip, that's her. Something about the melody just makes me feel uneasy. Okay, then Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus.
And who the hell are they?
This song is so truly Evermore to me. Like it is giving Evermore big time. Speaking of which, when I do these album rankings, I love discussing a song from each album that I think fits on the prior and the, you know, the upcoming album. I think obviously So High School is going to be our kind of TS12 glimpse prediction. What song do we think from this album fits Midnights? I would almost say Down Bad, but maybe I'm thinking that because of all of the kind of celestial references, which really just fits in with that vibe. Sonically, the Tortured Poets Department, very 80s synth, that would also fit perfectly fine, Mr. Perfectly Fine on Midnights. Let me know your picks. But yeah, this song is just so Evermore to me. It is very Cowboy Like Me vibes. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. It would just be right at home there. Unfortunately, it's just not one I reach for. I'm gonna put it in I Forgot That You Existed. Sorry. Then we have How Did It End? You'll notice I'm saying a little bit less for these anthology songs the second half. That's just because I don't want to give away the deep dive, which will eventually happen, you know? This is the postmortem song of the postmortem album, you know, like this is really so relatable. Come one, come all, it's happening again. The amount of circus references we have in Taylor's discography, I love it, but it also makes me so sad. How Did It End? Honestly, this is me crying. That's too real. I don't want to hear that. When Taylor said I'm just too soft for all of it, that's me. That's me with half this album, okay? Next we have a little song called So High School.
Please rise for the national anthem.
Truth, dare, spin bottles. You know how to ball, I know Aristotle.
I could cry about how much I love this song. In fact, maybe I did in my reaction. This is Naily. You know how to ball, I know Aristotle. It's the MVP and Tutor Girl. Holy shit. This entire song just makes my soul ascend to the heavens. Watch my Spotify Wrapped come out later this year. This will be my #1 song. I'm telling you now, if I were a betting man, I would put my money on that. And like when I say I love this song, Taylor could be singing in Simlish and I would still love it. The production alone is that good. Drums and an electric guitar on a Taylor Swift song, I'm sold. That is truly all I need in this life to be happy. What's that song? All I need in this life of sin is me and my girlfriend. For me, it's just drums and electric guitar. The way the intro kind of gives me like Friday Night Lights theme song vibes, which is A, perfection, but B, just like suits the song so well. Yeah, this is just everything I love in a song. If this is what TS12 sounds like, it's gonna be my favorite album of all time. You know when we listened to Midnights for the first time and I was deeply affected by Would've, Could've, Should've, I had that same experience with So High School, but kind of in like the opposite way. You know when you hear a song and you're like, oh, this is made for me. I'm obsessed. That's So High School. And again, I truly loved how much you guys knew before I had even heard it that I would love this so much. The idea that a love could make you feel so young again, oh, makes me so happy. And like, sorry, can we talk about the background vocals on this?
Brand new, full throttle, it's true, swear, scouts, honor, you already know, babe.
I love it so much. Quite obviously, So High School is god tier songs. Taylor, thank you so much for making that. The little background yeahs at the end.
True, swear, scouts, honor, you know what you wanted, and boy, you got it. Brand new, full throttle.
Hottest thing she's ever done. Then we have I Hate It Here. This one is for the nostalgic little bitches. The way this song sounds, it's like plucky heaven.
Life, but now I seem to be scared to go outside.
Oh my god. The way I relate to those lyrics so deeply. I especially love the instrumentation here. When she sings electricity,
lucid dreams like electricity.
My brain just goes to that song from Billy Elliot. I think I Hate It Here is marvelous tune. Okay, next we have Thank You Aimee. My first thought upon hearing this, oh my god, it's country. And then when I heard the words, I was like, oh my god, it's country.
Pretty legendary if you ask me. I love it. And this era will always have such a close place in my heart.
You cannot tell me this song was not inspired by Taylor re-recording Reputation. The way that re-recording 1989 probably inspired Maroon, Question. That's a discussion for another day.
I can't forgive the way you made me feel.
This song is like if Folklore the album was looking back at Reputation. I love her and I think she is a marvelous tune. Next we have I Look in People's Windows.
I look in people's windows like I'm some deranged weirdo.
I know in my video sharing my initial thoughts on the anthology, I said that that intro sounds like No Scrubs, but it also really now reminds me of like 2000s Jesse McCartney, which is a 10 out of 10 for me. And again, this is more plucky heaven. It sounds like, oh, no wonder I love it. It reminds me of Butterfly Fly Away when Miley's just sitting there strumming. Oh. Goosebumps. I'm afflicted by the not knowing. One of the most deeply relatable lyrics on this entire album. I'm gonna put her in marvelous tune. Thank you. Okay, then we have The Prophecy.
Hey everyone. I'm already crying.
Arguably, not even arguably, just definitely one of Taylor Swift's most vulnerable songs of all time, ever. And honestly, as someone that was a really late bloomer in terms of like dating, love, whatever, boys, I talk about this a lot in my girl talk videos because this is just such a common experience, yet also feels so incredibly isolating. For anyone that looks at their friends who are in love, or I just feel like sadly this is such a common feeling, maybe at any stage of life. And like, not to be super sappy or even like sweep this feeling under the rug and like say that it's invalid, but to hear Taylor sing this song and then look at her and see how happy she is now, like it just really gives me a lot of hope. Not even in terms of like boyfriends, girlfriends, dating, whatever, but like the way that our feelings are not permanent. Nothing is permanent in this life, but just, yeah, I think it's just a great reminder that this too shall pass. This feeling is so real and raw and painful, but you won't feel that way forever. And if you do feel like this, if this is a song you really relate to, this is me promising you, this is me praying that, this is me promising you, you will not always feel this way. But oh my god, high school me could have written this song. Well, no, let's be honest, I couldn't have, but she relates to it a lot. The Prophecy is Twilight baseball scene. I truly love that song. And I think I might have manifested that song with this TikTok I made. That was before we knew this song title existed. Okay, next we have Cassandra. This one is for the girls that were like obsessed with history in primary and middle school. I don't know what it's called, but when the piano does a key change, is that just called also a key change? When it goes up, it is one of my favorite parts of this whole album.
When the truth comes out, it's quiet.
Up.
So they killed Cassandra first because she feared the worst.
I just went off before about electric guitar and drums, but piano, that's also my bitch. This might be unpopular, but I think this song could have sonically worked on Speak Now. Don't you just get kind of like haunted, innocent vibes from Cassandra? I mean, lyrically, obviously this is Reputation. The amount of wordplay on this rivals Guilty as Sin or like But Daddy I Love Him or The Tortured Poets Department or The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, because like this song has some of our best wordplay on the album. Like, so they filled my cell with snakes. Obviously you get an image of like her being locked up, caged, filled with snakes as like punishment and torture. But what do Americans call phones? Cells. And what happened during the Reputation era? They filled her cell phone with snakes. Taylor, your mind.
See, I'm telling you, I have the mind of a I have the mind of a mastermind. What's that?
It's like the multi-word use of slip through the bars. Like, yes, the bars of a jail cell, but also like bars where you go out to meet people, and also bars of music. By the time I publish this video, Taylor Swift will have mashed up Cassandra with Mad Woman. If she hasn't, what are we even doing any of this for? That's my prediction anyway. If not, Taylor, here's the free idea. Cassandra, Twilight baseball scene. It is so beautiful. I think it's a really underappreciated song, and I hope it grows on you. Next we have Peter. Love's never lost when perspective is earned. Maybe one of the best lines of this album, and really ties in well to Thank You Aimee. I think this song is the real like poetry of the Tortured Poets department. That said, it's not one that I find myself gravitating towards as much. I'm gonna put Peter in marvelous tune. Lyrically, obsessed. I love Peter Pan. I love all the references. We'll get to that. It's just more sonically, it's not as much my favorite. Then we have the Bolter. Avoidant attachment girlies. She called you out here. Also just like every air sign, I think. The Bolter is kind of like the Albatross to me, where something about the melody, I don't know, it's just not my vibe. I don't mind it. And if I'm in the mood for it, I'm in the mood for it. Most of the time, I don't like it as much. I'm gonna put it in I Forgot That You Existed. I'm so sorry. Okay, then we have Robin. Now, personally, I don't know if I would think to like put this song on. Like I would never be like, hey Siri, play Robin by Taylor Swift. So sorry if that just activated your Siri as well. But at the same time, I would never go and put like Love Story on just to listen to on my own. So this is not me saying that it's a bad song at all. It's just not one that I would like always be in the mood for. I think this song, like Never Grow Up, is one that I will come to appreciate later in life. Maybe if you're a parent, let me know if this is like a song that you love. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful dedication. It's just not as relatable to me. But parents, chime in the comments. I do love the piano on this. It kind of sounds like the score on a coming of age film. Robin, you can go in I Forgot That You Existed. Sorry. And finally we have the Manuscript. So like I said earlier, I do kind of think this song could be the byproduct of Taylor re-recording and revisiting the Red era. It depends if you believe that Taylor has had the re-recordings sitting on her phone, on her laptop, like done this whole time. Maybe therefore this song has been too. But Jesus, what a song, what a story. This was one that really took me by surprise in the best way. I really admire the openness and honesty of this song, and I think Taylor was maybe able to do that because, like she says, the story isn't mine anymore. She's saying, I'm putting this to rest. I think she said something in the prologue about revisiting the manuscript is the only way to move forward. You know what I mean? I think that allows for a lot of honesty, and I love it. This was another one I reacted to. This song just says so much about everything, her life, her songwriting, her relationship with the fans, and her music, and how like once you've put something out into the world, kind of like an author, it's then like open to interpretation. People make it their own. And we haven't really heard Taylor sing that much about that. The Manuscript to me is Twilight baseball scene. So iconic. Now, down the bottom here, we also have the remixes. And personally, remixes are just none of my business. Honestly, I can't really think of a remix that has been better than the original. You know what? The Lover remix with Shawn Mendes. I'm just kidding. But I actually do in fact like the Fortnight acoustic version. I think that's quite beautiful. I just like could not really tell you off the top of my head what these sound like, because I think I've heard them all once, and that's fine. What do you guys think of the Mine Pop remix? I used to kind of hate it because I'm a purist, but I can't really lie, it does slap a little bit. These remixes are irrelevant. Who cares where I put them? Not me. Okay, so this is the playlist I made around when the album came out. I know on the first day I texted my friend saying I loved I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, whereas funnily enough, like it's not even on this list. But looking at this top 10, it's actually quite similar to the ones that have stayed with me today in the top 2 tiers. That is so interesting. What can I say? I had taste early on and I still do. Let me know if your favorites on the day of release have changed at all. I definitely think I was enjoying I Can Do It With a Broken Heart and those kind of upbeat bangers more than I find myself listening to now. Cassandra, I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can. They've really crept up the ranks and I'm not mad about it. Now, to quickly revisit my original ranking every Taylor song video, my #1 change is Speak Now. What was she doing in Emily in Paris? I don't hate that song. That's not a skip. I think I was really trying to force myself to find a skip in Speak Now, the album, and I'd forgotten about Innocent. Speak Now is in marvelous tune, at least. The storytelling of that song is so great that she convinced literally all of us that it has a music video when it doesn't. It only in fact has, you know, the album booklet photo and the iconic live performance. She's such a fun song. I also realized I have like an alarming amount of folklore songs not in God tier. I think I only had August and My Tears Ricochet, and I'm like, The Last Great American Dynasty, Mad Woman, The One even, all of them need to get up into God tier. I might even take out August to swap it with Mad Woman. I think I'm just resonating more with those songs these days. What a catalogue this woman has given us. Thank you, Taylor. Here you have it. This is my final ranking of the Tortured Poets department. Honestly, the fact that there is only one song in Emily in Paris tells you what a great album this is and how much I love it. As always, I'm very keen to hear what you agree with and disagree with in the comments, but you have to explain yourself. Give your reasoning, show your working out. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed my ranking of the Tortured Poets department. Thank you again, Surfshark, for sponsoring this video. I love you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Is this what it feels like to grow up?